Right, hello and welcome to the stream today. It is Eliza or Oliveza, or however you say it.
Oliveza.
Oliveza. I say Eliza because it's easier and I'm English. But against Kaister, or the MDS of Kaister against the SKG of Eliza. But we're ready to go. It is Manchuria's the first match, and I'm joined by Scroogy.
Yep. And they agreed on Iro against India, I think.
Yeah, which is actually Iroquois favourite, I think. Maybe not so much on this map because you do have the yaks which you can pick up as India, but at the same time I think it's slightly favoured towards Iroquois here. But again, Eliza I think is the about the same level as Coaster. He did beat Sompu with the same civ.
Oh, he did? Oh, yeah, right. In the
Yeah, he went 3-2 against Sompu in the upper division or the pro division of the last tournament or winter tournament.
So he knows how to handle the Somalis.
Yeah, he knows how to handle the Somalis. So, but it is Kaister, who is a player from the US. You don't really see him playing too much. I need to change my not my volume. That's the wrong one. Let's change my there you go, scroll speed all the way down.
I have a quick look at the map.
The map looks relatively fine. Maybe slightly sparser hunts for India here, but I think it's fine for both.
Yeah,
actually.
but none of them are missing. That's an important point.
Yeah, and it is a wood start, which is good for India. Obviously, very good for Iroquois as well. He's going to get early TP up. On this map in particular, TPs are worth less. I think they're 0.9 a second, equivalent of a trickle. So actually, the nat TPs is roughly similar to the to a TP over there. But it means that Iroquois TP early on isn't going to be as overpowered as it normally would be. But as for treasures, Kaister picking up 40 wood, which is pretty insane actually for Iroquois here, and also picks up a lion there.
Yeah, that saves just so much food gathering on the Age of Time.
Yeah, it saves a lot of food. Not of food time, but it just saves on time of wood, and it allows them to get that trading post up, which he's about to do. There's 200 wood. He'll plonk it down straight away at the top here.
And also 85 wood for him in the corner. It's probably going to be contested.
Yeah, it's going to be contested. Eliza does see it. It's probably going to pick up. I reckon Eliza will pick this up. The two monks from India are pretty strong, although that Iroquois would have been so close. Actually, he's going to lose that yak, which was pretty stupid from Kaister there, but he's going to pick up again. Neither player really paying attention. But yeah, actually, there's just going to be a bit more posturing on this 85 wood. And to be honest, the 85 wood for Kaister is obviously it's important because you want to save the wood which you get for Iroquois and build that longhouse, because longhouses are more efficient. They are, I think, 125 wood there. Yeah. Someone just subscribed. Comet K, but I have the notifications off. I'll turn them back on after this. Thank you very much for subscribing to Twitch Prime, Trevor. Bit of a contention here over 75 food as well. As you said, food for both civs is really important here, right?
Yep. And both players abandoning the wood treasure. Maybe they have other things to do. Probably Iroquois, India maybe also wants to get the TP route because it's nicely protected for himself in the corner, and getting a stage good there could be worth it.
Yeah, so India obviously does want to. On this map in particular, you want to take both trading posts normally because it's basically a free trading post line. There's a map on RE which is similar. I've actually forgotten the name of it. I think it's Patagonia or something.
Yeah, Patagonia. I think it is.
Yeah, and Patagonia is 3, but it's the same sort of thing. This map can either spawn with a TP line down the middle like this, this area here, but it can also spawn top and bottom. And if it's top and bottom, it's pretty decent for you. You can get that TP line up, get some extra crates up.
And we have a treasure contention. Iroquois going for the 90 wood in his corner, and Oliveza noticing it, and Kaiser gets it.
And really, he can't stay here, Oliveza here, because of the two lines. One of the Surdras here doesn't have his style ability left. Probably gonna lose that, actually. Yeah, unless he pulls it away. No, he's gonna lose that, and he's actually gonna lose his other one as well. If he's not careful.
Maybe the line blocks him in the trees. Did he get away?
Yeah, I think the line actually blocked it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So actually, Kaister not really microing stylily himself, and he's even going to pick up a yak here. So
yeah, he has 9 yaks now, and another one that he can pick up easily. So that's quite good. I think like 8 is like a TP worth? Not sure about that.
Yes. So with Yaks, I think past 8 you actually want to build the Sacred Field for India, and it ends up being more efficient than a TP if you put them all
Oh
on it.
wow.
But you don't really see that happening too often, so I doubt you're really going to see it now. And because Kaister, I think, is probably going to be aggressive here if we look at what he's aging up with. Text being researched. Actually, no, the Wise Woman. And Agrafort going down for Oliveza, actually on the right here, bottom right, which really isn't actually the best place for it. If you, what did I just do? I don't mean to do that. It does protect a single hunt, his forward hunt here, but again, it doesn't really deny anything from Kaister. And if he's going to be
slightly
aggressive,
offside.
if he's going to be aggressive, it's not going to be too useful. Kaister's also going to use the 2 lions he has here quite well, and he's also going to pick up 75 food, and I assume he's probably going to go back and pick up that 85 wood at the back there. So really, a really good age 1 for Kaister. Kaister aging up slightly faster than India, sort of to be expected as Iroquois, but because he's gone for that Wise Woman age up, I think he's probably going to he's probably going to go for an FF, especially with that Warheart and base. That sort of spells to me where he's going to go for an FF, which
Yeah, it looks very much like an FF.
I don't know if it's the right thing to do against India, although I know India does struggle against semi-FFs as a whole, just generally speaking.
What is India gonna do? Like with a bad Sepoys, I'm not sure how he can pressure TC and a Warheart with potential big buttons coming out.
Yeah, and obviously Iro is really, really good at defending pushers. You do have 7 hyenas, which is probably one of the best stage 2 shipments in the game.
Yeah.
6 Tomahawks there as well. Interesting deck actually from Kaister. He does have those 3 Buccaneers in the second age, which are really strong. As 3 of them I think is probably stronger than a frigate in the second age for Furo. Does have 5 settlers, which he sends as a second card. Also Old Ways, which is a shipment you never really see, but I don't think that's going to come into play. At the same time, Eliza's deck does have the Indian East Indiaman there, which is basically a dock and 20% or 20 wood cost off those ships.
And he has sent it actually. Oh no, maybe that's that's an H2 shipment he sent.
He hasn't sent a shipment yet actually. Just aging up.
I mean, it's on the way. I was confused. I thought he was H1 still and sent the East Indiaman, but no.
No. He just sent 600 wood. Again, no, 600 wood is an interesting shipment. Normally, as India, you want to send these foreign logging cards. So, foreign logging is effectively 4.5 villagers plus an extra villager, because obviously it's India, you get a villager when you age up. When you send a shipment, sorry. 600 wood just seems a bit meek. It doesn't really gain him anything here. Yes, it allows him to be slightly faster. He's putting his Sepoys here at the top to stagger mode. Because of the red wing here, he can do 120 damage in sort of an area while it's quite dangerous. But at the same time, Kaister behind us has got the stagecoach up. Actually, I think he's probably done that because of the stagecoach, right? He's probably just tried to get the trading post line. Hasn't got stagecoach himself, Oliveza, but I think that's why he sent 600 wood. But
now I'm going to siege down the TP. He's building Gurkha at the moment, and no more Sepa in the map right now. So maybe he just wants to siege the TP line while he can, while Kaister's aging. Although I'm not sure if he can get it up. Kaister is already aging up, and the forest prowls are gonna come out very quick.
Yeah, and really, I mean, Kaister's sort of got the dream build here for her. Went 5 villagers. Didn't have to pressure anything. Did lose his war chief, but war chief's probably going to come back up relatively quickly when he ages, because you do get that HP boost. A batch of 2 Gurkha from Eliza. That's pretty poor, actually. It's not really going to be doing that too much. And even if Kaister just goes with both big buttons, 15 Tomahawks, this is going to basically demolish his push, and Eliza's going to be on the back foot completely. He does have stagecoach up in his own base, which is quite nice. But
yeah, I think he was housed and couldn't build anymore.
Yeah. Oh, was he housed with Gurkhas, was he?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Kaiser building a fire pit, probably to get the war chief back to dance for him. And yeah, he's gaining HP now.
This is sort of a mistake, actually, because to be honest, he wants to take the fight in that area, and he could have just gone and picked him up. Oh, my game apparently is dying. I don't know what's happening, but yeah, so really, I think that's slightly a mistake, but it doesn't matter too much. He's going to get a longhouse down, actually, which is quite important here.
Yeah. Kaiser now has not very much pop space to work with, and I think the 8 skirmishers are on the way. Oh no, actually the 5 musket riders, judging from the pop. And the Gardeners are going to be key to deal with the Forest Prowlers. Only one alive now.
Most of them all dead. Yeah, that Gardener going down. Oh, he's still up, so he's actually going to take down a couple of Forest Prowlers. But I think probably what's going to happen here is 8 Forest Prowlers is going to ship. But 4 Sowars as well coming in from the back, which will clean them up if they do pop out of that War Hut. And really what Kaiser needs to do here is he needs to have sort of a batch of, what do they call, Tomahawks coming out. Two Musket Riders coming out. They're obviously very good, but the Gurkhas are probably going to be able to deal with those quite easily. And the Forest Prowlers, 5 Musket Riders is the first shipment actually. That's quite interesting actually. And only 1 Forest Prowler being trained from that War Hut.
Yeah, but he doesn't have enough snare potential now. The Musket Riders can run away forever. And the Seapoys get perfectly 2-shot because he doesn't have the Brit Consulate as of now.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, it's true. They do die a lot quicker from that TC because of no Brit Consulate, and this push he's been doing hasn't really benefited him a huge amount here. He's netted, I think, a couple of villager kills maybe out of it.
Yeah, 3. He got 3
kills, yeah. But at the same time, India, I think, sort of needs to age against this because Gurkhas get outranged by Forest Prowlers. Obviously, Forest Prowlers having, I believe, 20 range, right? Yeah, 20 range, and Gurkhas only having 18, and obviously.
And they have monster attack.
Yeah, Forest Prowlers are just insane versus Gurkhas when they're age 2. But actually, one thing we did miss. Oh no, there's no Sacred Field. I thought he built a Sacred Field. He didn't build a Sacred Field. People in the chat are saying he is, but that didn't occur. Eliza didn't build one. But there's 8 Forest Prowlers coming out, and actually, Eliza's been pretty heavy on the military shipments here with that push. 5 Sepoy, 4 Sowars, and he also used the export he had. Did he send export? Yeah, he did send export. So he did have the. Hasn't done the Ottoman villagers though, so he isn't as far ahead as eco as you'd expect for India at this point. And Kaister is again getting that trading post up with only one Sour going over, which will probably die from the that Explorer. But 10 Tiger Claws coming in, and that Explorer not being here might actually damage him quite heavily because these Tiger Claws, if he pushed him now, I think he would have won the fight. Especially seeing as now Kaister's sending crates, which obviously is somewhat peculiar. He's getting pushed here, and he needs to be pushing out of his base slightly. And a couple of Forest Prowlers might get caught off here. And the Musket Riders are a decent amount away. He's slightly
he's probably fine. He has a good choke here.
He has a good choke here. And Forest Prowlers actually aren't too bad against Tiger Claws themselves, because Tiger Claws are so low HP. But these do huss damage against the Forest Prowlers when they actually get into them. And yeah, he's getting good damage here, but again, is he getting a good trade? I don't think he is. That Tiger Claw shipment is quite costly. It's basically a 1200 resource cost there because it's a 700 resource shipment plus 500 coin. And those 2 elephants do take out a couple more Forest Prowlers, but at the same time, Kaister got a way of sending pretty eco-heavy cards here, 1200 crates, and he's just going to be able to, well, just demolish, right, off of this.
Yeah, he's going to be able to build houses and spam stuff, and then he can push out of his base. And not much Oliveza can do about it. And he does have Stagecoach now. He's getting sieged by 2 Minutemen. But yeah, Oliveza has to pull back. Maybe stacking resources to H. And maybe 600 coin is on the way. Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, and has to try to make something happen in the 3rd or maybe even 4th H. Maybe he can buy enough time for that.
Yeah, but he's going to get pushed here from Kaister. And if Kaister sends, well, I don't know what he's going here for here, but maybe 6 Kanya. If he sends 6 Kanya, if you look at the army of Oliveza here, it's not a huge amount of units which are anti-cavalry. He's now stretching into Zambrax, but Zambrax do sort of suck against, well, basically any units that Hero can make in the 3rd age. He's going to be a bit of contention with his 120 XP. By the looks of it, Kaister is just going to crack shot some Gurkhas there, and I don't think he really wants to take this fight. He's also going to get 120 XP for himself. Infantry combat coming in as well, so these Forest Prowlers are extra beefy now. 22 attack, 170 HP is pretty incredible.
They're almost Jägers now, almost. But Kaister's push not doing. I mean, yes, he can deny area to Oliveza, but not really area that is important to Oliveza. He still has his resource gathering and his eco up and running. The Stagecoach line is still up and running. And he's about to click up now. Let's see with what wonder. I don't know which one that is.
I assume it's going to be with Taj Mahal, surely. Being researched here. No,
It's
with
the
Charmer
Charmander Gate.
Gate. So that's the Mahout when you single Mahout, I believe, when you age up to Fortress Age,
Yep.
which is quite good against this composition, but it has been nerfed recently against this specific composition because it does slightly less damage versus the Forest Prowlers. It does do more damage against Tomahawks if you were to add some Tomahawks in there, Kaister. But really, I think Kaister needs to push in here. He's now attacking Elite Kanya, which obviously is what you want to do. You want to have a bit of a mixed composition against India because they can pump out those Zambraks. But again, there's no anti-cavalry here. So if you were to get sort of 6 Kanya out and a 5 Kanya batch from the corral, there's 6 Kanya coming out. And he gets 5 more from the corral. He should just be fine to run in and just sort of demolish, I think.
Yeah, and another Canyon in the queue, so this is clearly the timing Kaister's aiming for. It's probably gonna hit right when Oliveza's at its weakest, when he just aged up.
Yeah, and right when he ages up, he will get the Mahout. But again, he has basically no anti-cavalry. He does have a couple more Zambraks in. But again, Zambraks, particularly weak actually when you don't have the Desert Terror card and the Camo Attack cards on there. And it does have 9 Zambraks in his deck, which he can send. But of course, at the same time, it does. India shipments in Age 3, obviously 9 Sepoys is strong, but there's 9 Sepoys against this massive forest powers. You don't want to be sending it. They just get demolished. So
yeah, and also I'd argue that 9 Sepoys is a good shipment now. I'd argue against it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sepoys are still fine. It's better than a 9 Musketeer shipment still. But
that's true. That's true.
But yeah, I mean, Kaiser's he's got such a good army composition now, and at the same time, he's going to run into Oliveza's Veils down the bottom here, or even just take out a trading post. I think he's going to go for a trading post instead and sort of start.
Yeah, then he will circle on the resources. I'm not sure if he knows that that Oliveza is hunting down here, but he probably can know that Oliveza is getting thin on hunts soon.
Well, yeah, I think he sort of knows. There is the Agra Fort, which did protect the hunt, which he kept hold of. Bit of a fight there with the Gardeners, which one of them does go down. Those Zambraks actually, funnily enough, don't have the Zambrak card on them, but two. Actually, is that 3 Discipline in my house? No, it's 2 coming out from the shipment as well as the one from the Charmlar Gate. These are really strong units now, especially against Tomahawks and whatnot. But yeah, if he just gets contained here and is sort of starved of his hunt, I don't know what he can really do. He doesn't have a huge amount of hunting base. He's running out of coin mines actually even. And there's going to be, I think, quite a big fight at the top here. And at the moment, Iroquois units are just so strong, and India's units, these Gurkhas and Sepoys, only just getting their upgrades in. These Mahouts are good units, obviously, but they're just not amazing units at the same time. And those Zambraks still are only Age 1, so they're pretty pathetic against the massive Canyons he has here. And at the same time, Kaister, she sent a shipment quite a while ago now. It's sort of 2.5 minutes ago. So I think he's probably sending the Cuirassiers, the Renegades French here, and then going to do that as a bit of a push, which would just, I think, dominate the army.
Yeah. And Oliveza actually now going forward, not sure why. Maybe he thinks Kaister is aging to industrial, but not really a reason for him to do that now. And soon it's going to be go time when the Cuirassiers arrive.
Yeah, and imagine if they pop from this war hut right now, it just all those Gurkhas will just go down. A couple of Sepoys are back there, and obviously there are a number of Zambraks. But again, actually, infantry attack coming in. I made a mistake there, but still, these Force Palace I think could just probably 1v1 his army just themselves.
Yeah.
Once those Mahouts go down.
And the cavalry probably gonna race around to cut off Oliveza's army, and he's drag boxing it in true India fashion. But yeah, I think Kaiser's just happy with picking up units with his OP skirmishers on the side and continuing to gather resources. He stole 1 TP from Oliveza, so the eco is actually in his favor now by 8 villagers, which is quite significant. Oh no, 4 villagers rather.
Yeah, and at the same time, all of the resources Oliveza actually has, he's sort of getting pushed off him. There's this one hunt here which is about to go out, and I think his next hunt, apart from that one, a couple of villagers even standing idle over here, his next hunt is up here, right? It's right at the top, which is just absolutely miles away.
Over here.
Or over there, which is, I think, probably even Kaister's hunt there. So basically, unless he pushes out here, which is really quite difficult to do here, especially seeing as he's drag boxing all his units, his Zambraks being particularly useless actually at this point.
The Mansapta is now coming out, so his Gurkha is going to be a bit stronger, but still no match for the for the
Yeah,
Forest
I mean,
Pilots, I think.
Forest Pilots now have 2 upgrades, and I would not be surprised if Kaister even sends in infantry hit points, and these units will just become, well, basically guard skirmishers. I think. They're basically guard skirmishers when you send that in, aren't they? So he's not a good spot here. He is sort of equal pegging in terms of economy. Maybe I don't know. It's still actually in favour of Kaiser, isn't it, when you equate for his TPs? But this is going to be the big fight here, and I don't think it's going to go too.
Yeah, and the
well.
Mansaptas on the other half of the map, he just ran off. Not sure why. So he's not supporting the army right now.
Yeah, Mansap is not where it is. Where was the Arumi coming in? But again, I think Forest Pilots can probably beat your Arumis here. You're going to see Forest Pilots beating a disciplined Mahout on their own. There you go, taking out all their HP and just two volleys from those Forest Pilots, and he sort of needed that to stay alive. A spy actually coming in, so he spent some of his export on that spy. Going to try and take down the Red Wing Explorer, which will be quite good. But only it just gets spotted, and it's going to go down instantly. Not doing. I don't know if he's going to. A spy is somehow still alive. I have no clue how.
Neither player noticing anything. He's still going, punching.
Actually, he's getting a good. Oliveza's getting a good shots off on these musket riders, and those Mahouts in an area where they're going to be doing decent damage at least. One of them goes down. One of them only half HP now is going to go down itself.
Yeah.
And I don't think Oliveza can even fight this fight. Maybe if he pulls in the villages, he might be fine. He's going to do that now.
They're coming
as well. But infantry hit points coming in. These Forest Palace 190 HP, 27 attack. Even on War Dance now for Kaister. Even with these
villages. It's upgraded now.
Yeah, Vills have upgrades, so they are going to be doing decent damage if they're in hand-to-hand combat. But it's just the Forest Palace are just so good here. Even in melee, they do 11 damage, so they're actually equaling the damage done by villagers. And Eliza's economy is now just so far behind, and at the same time, Kaister doesn't even have to fight this. Yeah,
he can just pull back and know that the remas for Oliveza is going to be very poor. And a cap switch now can be devastating if he picks up the Sepoys, and more Kenyans coming in, and then there are only Gurkha left. Villagers went back together, now coming back in. We need you, boys.
Yeah, those Kanyas chopping through those Gurkhas and those villagers. I don't think it even matters if he focuses on the villagers now. Anything he does here is just going to win. And GG coming in for Eliza.
GG.
And I think that sort of shows that this matchup probably, especially now, seeing as it's changed relatively recently with India being quite heavily nerfed, I think the matchup is probably still favoured, and I'm slightly confused to why Oliveza actually went for that matchup.
Well, they were on. Oliveza was British, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not taking this matchup," and then he switched to India. So I'm not sure what he was thinking there, but he preferred that over playing as Brits. And now, if I recall correctly, SKG picks first, so that's Kaister who wants to pick first.
I believe it's SKG, yeah. So, if anything, he gets to pick against it, but then again, it's not New World Championship rules. It is, I believe, it's set, because it's play all 5, and there is a reset in the middle. But, yeah, not a good start for Oliveza. Obviously, he's a good player. He did beat Sompu, so we can't say he's a bad player in any sense of the word. But Kaister pipping Oliveza to the, well, I don't know what we're saying is, but he beat him basically, and
he's out for revenge. He's here to revenge SKG for what happened in the winter tourney.
Yeah, but I think this is the first match of SKG, isn't it? This is.
It's the second. I think Conqueror beat Migo 3-2 in a very close series.
He did, didn't he? Yeah.
A few days back.
Overall, right at this point, it's basically even, as if nobody's played games right, because both players basically, both teams even winning 3 games and losing 3 games.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting map. It is relatively low hunt, but those pawns in the picture have been removed. And also has the a big button, doesn't it, from one of the Nat posts. So Kaister could play Sue here. I know Kaister likes playing Sue. He's one of the players sort of known for playing Sue, right? So
a double big button, that would be nice.
So he'd have a double big button. which would actually just be insane because I believe the Sioux cards affect all types of cavalry. So
They do? Oh,
they would buff the Iowa Nat TPs there, which would be insane. But we'll have to wait and see. And obviously Eliza, I think has quite a big civ pool, quite a deep civ pool. We look at the civs he's played here. He does have the silver medal for Ottomans there, but he's not going to be picking Ottoman into Sioux. He can play British against Sioux, obviously. I think that is quite strong. And I think France is one of his civs he can play as well. But
yes.
But Portugal actually coming in for Kaister, which is quite an odd pick. Well, not an odd pick, but it's
probably gonna go for ATP and take Robroad style 7 TPs and just get those cav upgrades in, because I think there are Comanche on this map as well.
No, it's Inca.
It's Inca. Well, then I'm not sure why, because the Comanche cav upgrade is really strong.
So we saw this we saw Portugal being played on this a long while back actually. In one of the, I think even last EPL, if I can remember back to then, we saw Breeze play it versus I think Lucas's or someone's China. And
but Breeze always plays ports, right?
Yeah, Breeze always plays ports, and it's a really good map for ports, especially seeing as you have a nat TP changes, as you said. You can reliably get sort of 6, I think, ATPs, or not 6. You can reliably get 5 trading posts down, which is just insane, because each one of these nat trading posts gives you 0.8 or 0.9, one of the two, XP a second, and just dominates there. But Eliza can pick something like China, and I think most people know that China is a big counter to port, right? Because you FI and there's not really much port can do against it. Trevor redeeming 220,000 points to put the room into emote only mode, which is a bit annoying because I like seeing what the chat has to say. But yeah, so Eliza's still to pick. You can pick Spain actually. So if anything, this is sort of a robot style. We shouldn't say robot, but he's also the only player I really know who uses ATP and plays Spain a lot. So we might see a Revolt coming in here possibly.
Yeah, maybe. But an ATP war for sure, most likely.
Yeah. But by the looks of it, Eliza is going to make his deck. And let's have a look at his decks, actually. That's where is it? Seville. He does have an ATP deck. Yeah, ATP with Spanish Gold. Actually, a Native Treaties card even there. And 7 Hussars, which you could revolt with. But we'll have to see what either players do. But as you said, ATP, both civs like to use ATP. Spain, you go 3 Vils ATP, and then Kaister. As Portugal, you don't have Vil shipments, you just go straight for ATP in the first stage. And obviously, I think Spain is an incredibly good pick against an ATP civ, simply because you can spam out War Dogs, right? And War Dogs do an incredibly good job at taking down the Explorer, which likes to put those trading posts up.
And they shadow take, and in H3 I think there are like Hussars for the cost. They're very good later.
Dogs are actually just insane, because they have no tags, so they don't get counted by pikes and stuff, which I think is very good, if not maybe slightly too good. But anyway, we're going to go into the game. We'll have to wait and see how the spawn is, because I think Iowa is a map which tends to spawn a bit unevenly sometimes.
Lucas saying he never played Breeze on this map.
Oh, maybe it wasn't Lucas. Someone played against Breeze, and they played China on this map, and they won quite heavily. It might have even been Dara. No, it wasn't Dara. He hasn't played for a while. It was someone who played China. I can't remember. But we are going to get into this. It is Kaister versus Eliza, the second game. It is a wood start, which I think for both civs is, especially seeing as they go for ATP, is quite good. And Eliza even picking up 40 XP on the get-go, so he's going to get that shipment in very early if he's going to go for it.
I think the map is fine. They both have 300 somewhat close, and the fourth one is far.
However, the map looks fine, I think. Again, this map in particular has quite wide hunting areas, as in the distance between your TC and your third hunt is quite wide, as it is a low hunt map, so that's fine. But
Yeah, I was playing it recently, and like after 10 minutes, I had to migrate my entire eco across the map because the resources were that far.
yeah. But actually, there's 135 XP here, which, to be honest, if Port picks it up on a right, would be pretty spectacular actually. Simply because it will basically give him a ETP card in nice and early. Kai's even picking his deck really quickly here, so we can see what he's going for. He does have native law, which is I don't know why he's got that in his deck. That's a pretty useless shipment. But he does have advanced trading post there, which, as we can look at here, does increase the hit points by 30%. Gives it a 30 attack range attack, and changes the wood cost to 125, if I can recall correctly. So it is incredibly strong if you can get it out there, and that 135 XP is going to get him his way onto the first shipment. And at the same time, Oliveza with roughly a similar deck. He's not going to revolt here. He hasn't got 7 hussars. That's something to look out for. But he does have ATP there. Actually, closely enough, it does have native treaties, which on this map I think is probably the best map to use it on, right? Because Inca, you get 2 different types of units. You get the Incan spearmen, or the I can't say the word, Incan spearmen, or the bonus
Wamarnik,
warriors.
I think they call themselves.
Yeah. But they're really strong. 17 attack, 48 siege or something like that. You get 4 of those, and you get 4 bonus warriors. And at the same time, you also get 3 Lakota Axe Riders, which they're not the best units, but they're pretty decent. And
yeah, they're good. And we have a treasure contention coming up.
Oh, for Tomahawk. So this, I think Oliveza actually got that. Yeah, he did. So
yeah,
this is
both players like doodling a bit, not reacting in time, but Oliveza gets it.
It's particularly important actually with treasure, because especially seeing as it's sort of an ATP war, it's nice to have one of these simply because you can just station it at a TP vote, which means that you basically deny it. There's ATP coming in straight away, and I think Eliza's about to get it in himself. So in 40 seconds you'll see that coming out. But yeah, if this Iroquois Tomahawk can just stay by one of the trading posts, especially seeing as one which has the villagers, it would be pretty powerful actually, because even it has the malice, it does a decent amount of damage versus villagers at range. It does 8. Well, I think it's actually downscaled to 6 because of the range resistance, but it still does a lot of chip damage, which can sort of prevent Kaister pushing.
Oh, did he dupe him? The dog and the Tomahawks zoning up the Explorer for quite a while, but now I think he escaped. Oliveza got a bit distracted, and Kaiser's Explorer is out.
Oh, I like what he's doing here actually. What Oliveza did there is he put the trading post down and then deleted it. So he put it into the socket so Kaister wouldn't be able to get the socket, and he sort of wasted some time for himself. And now he's even going to get the settler over there. But I don't know who puts it down first. Is it the person who hits it with a hammer first who puts it down?
I think so, and Oliveza has enough wood for it. And yeah, I think the game...
Yeah, he's going to get it down. So Kaister's going to have a really bad ATP build here, especially seeing as he might not even be able to get this Incan settlement down, which is what he wants to get. So... Actually, I think this is really quite good for Oliveza, and he's going to get even the 3rd trading post down. At the same time, Kaiser is going to get the what's it called, Lakota settlement here, which is strong, and also the Incan settlement. But again, that Iroquois Tomahawk being next to the Incan settlement is going to deny him the viability of getting that, and he's going to run back with the dog here. And I wouldn't be surprised because of the native cards being in deck, native treaties. You can send it right away. And acts as if it's what's the card called for? What's the Asian card which gives consulate units?
Intervention.
Yeah. Thank you. It acts like intervention, right? Because if you send
I have no clue.
So if you send it and then you build the trading post, it will then spawn the units out afterwards.
So even if he builds it like 40 minutes later into the game, he still gets the units.
Yeah, it will spawn it, which is weird.
Nice.
But if he puts down a trading post here, which I assume he's going to do, and he doesn't send 700 coin here, I think that's sort of indicative of what he's going to do. But because he's gone up with a tower and is actually just collecting food now, I think it's indicative. Oh, actually, 700 wood. That is interesting. So I think he's going to do that. I think he's going to go for a sort of a slow nat rush, if you will, or even just 700 food coming in for Kaister. That is interesting. So Kaister not getting really any utility from that ATP at all, only getting 2 down, which is sort of quite weak. It does have the 2 TPs next to each other, which I think is indicative of the fact that these Lakota settlement, you can do the hunting grounds, and you can sort of turtle on base for a long time because of the 12 bison you get there.
Yeah.
Actually, a dog being trained from Oliveza, which is quite nice. But
And also the problem for Oliveza is that he stagecoaches in now, and he didn't get any of the for the trading posts. So now the eco of Oliveza is pulling ahead very quick.
yeah, he's ahead on eco most certainly. And
some pikey boys
pikes.
coming out.
Thing is though, is it efficient to go down with that trading post on those 8 pikes? He's probably going to lose 3 or 4 pikes because of it.
Yeah, maybe if he pops them into cover mode, but it's not doing that, I think.
Yeah, so this trading post actually is going to be quite efficient here. He's going to bring back his Explorer, which is going to get some chip shot damage off. Actually, these dogs are going to have a good time gnawing on that Explorer's flesh there. If he can get... Yeah, he's probably going to get caught, which isn't good for kaister in the slightest.
Oh,
nice.
He runs away the pikeman.
Yeah, nicely done by Loza.
Nice control.
Probably going to get another shot off, or even just keep him alive. And at the same time, look how many trading posts he has now. Just showing the power of ATP at the moment. Native treaties coming in. There's a forward tower as well. But you can see there's, I think it's, 3 Lakota Lax Riders. So these are just weird Hussar units. They have lower damage, but more HP.
Yeah, they're still good. And you get like other units as well from this shipment, so that's quite strong.
Yeah, so you can see his trading post is about to go up with that Explorer. When it goes up, you'll see it with trading post in the middle. You'll see some more units pop out. There you go. 3 Bolus Warriors and 2 of those Homuncles. So that's really efficient. If you look at how much this is worth, these 2 are worth 120, that's 240. These are worth like 150 each, so that's, 450? And these Bolus Warriors are worth 100 each, so that's 300. So that's an incredibly efficient shipment if you get both trading posts down. Although he doesn't really want to set up these 2 trading posts, if he can help it.
Where do the units actually appear? Do they appear at the trading site or at the...
They appear at your outpost. 700 coin being shit
outpost,
forward, though, which is a bit weak. And this push, actually, even though it was relatively quite strong, isn't really
can you get that
helping too
TC?
much here. Nah, that TC is going to go up.
But in quite a bad spot. And maybe get sieged down even. No.
Yeah, it won't get sieged down simply because these town centres now have CM in. Which I think is maybe slightly a mistake. I don't think he really needed CM here. But it is going to help him against the Falconets and whatever. But at the same time behind this, Oliveza's economy is huge. He's now even going to take down that trading post on the right. And he's probably going to take the trading post up here. And with Spain, when you have, what is it, 3 normal trading posts and 4 Vanat trading posts, so 7 total, your XP curve is just insane. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and especially the resource crate shipments, like they're worth the same as the other civilizations, and because you get them faster, that's just an insane economy that you can rack up there. I really would like to see Oliveza sending Spanish gold maybe first, and then just spam crate shipments and hold the map, because he can do pretty much everything he wants now.
Yeah, he can basically do anything he wants there. But you can see how powerful this NAT TP with the ATP is.
It created a timing on its own.
Yeah, but not even that, but just the TP from kaister here. It's taken out all 8 pikes, which is just insane from a unit which...
Oh, yes.
Basically, that's 125 wood there for both of them, and they just basically demolished the whole shipment in the Second Age. A shipment which is especially good at sieging as well, which is what's so insane about it. But he is going to lose that trading post, and by the looks of it, kaister sending 8 Cazadors, which are have actually recently buffed, so they're slightly cheaper. But at the same time, this just XP cover he's going to have is just going to be insane, like ridiculously insane.
Yep. Can you update the score? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I did update it. Yes, yeah. I saw Brooke vote in chat.
Okay, nice.
But, might lose a couple of villagers here, though, Eliza, which he wants to be careful of. But at the same time, even though the scores are relatively equal, I think this is by far in favour of Eliza at this point.
Yeah, like where do you even push as kaister with your tiny Cazador Dragoon army? You can't siege anything down. Oliveza can retreat to any resource location on the map. He's getting damaged on the Explorer, but yeah, might deny that TP, but yeah, not really that much for him.
A couple of dogs in queue though, which is something to note. So Explorer is probably going to go down, deny the TP. I think Eliza is gonna. I think he's gonna FI. Assuming he
Yeah,
doesn't.
why not?
He's not spending down his units here, so I think he is FIing. I think he might even revolt, because those trading posts have been on wood this whole time. And if we see 1,000 coin coming in here, and he aiders with the hussars, unfortunately doesn't have 7 hussars in deck, which is sort of what you want to see. This sort of this build, especially if you're revolting. Although having 7 hussars in deck does, I assume, actually show that you're probably going to revolt. Zuta gifting a sub to Lucas. Thank you, Zuta.
Thank you.
But yeah, if we see a revolt, it'll be quite interesting. I know I've talked about Robot revolting quite heavily, but should be quite interesting to see. But at the same time, it's going to be incredibly strong because he's just going to have Spanish gold coming in.
Yep.
So maybe it's just an FI.
Yeah,
Send it forward.
you can't pick it up anymore, the Spanish gold, if you revolt, right?
Yeah, you can't pick it up. There's no way to pick it up. So if you were to go for a revolt, that would be a bit pointless, I think. Because he'd just be putting down crates of coin for his opponent to pick up. But 1,000 wood coming for Kaiser now, sort of showing that it has been slowing down. A couple of Lakotas are still alive, harassing the villagers of Kaister. I don't know if he's lost any yet. He did actually lose 3 villagers. That's not too good, is it? But at the same time, he is now steadily gaining ahead on Eco there. If we look at his economy, he too, I think, is probably going to shift focus to aging at some point. By the looks of his, not building any units here. No, he's not building any
units. And thanks to the native TP and the Lakotas, he still has hunts in his base to actually use his huge eco. He still has hunts here and a hunt here, so I'm actually quite surprised that he's 12 minutes into this game and still has so much hunt left.
Yeah. Well, the 12 Lakotas are just incredibly good, aren't they? It's basically a lifeline for Portuguese on this sort of map. I think
Oliveza is aging up to the industrial age now and saving his shipment.
Yeah, so he's aging up to the industrial age and has 2. So I think what he's going to do is he's going to go for both factories. Either both factories or just a heavy cannon shipment and then go. Because you do have some pretty good shipments you can send when you revolt, right? The 16 colonial militia is particularly good at 1,600 food worth of units. Zuta gifting a sub to Ezad, which is nice of him, I guess.
I guess.
It's just gifting to everyone at the moment.
Yeah.
But I forget, is Ezad on his team? I don't think he is. I know Lucas is. But
I don't know in which teams the players are. I'm not too familiar with that. I know Ezad is in some team and Zuta is in some team.
Yeah. Well, I think Zuta's in Biggs, so he's on Eliza's team.
Uh-huh.
No. Yeah, Eliza's team. It is Eliza's team. Sorry, yeah, pretty confusing. But Hussar's now coming out from Eliza's stables, so I think a revolt actually is on the cards here. 1,000 wood being stockpiled this whole time as well. He did just send a shipment, probably 1,000 coin. Which actually is 1,000 wood probably. Oh no, maybe not. I don't know what he sent. Eliza, he sent a shipment on his way to the industrial age, so I have to wait and see what that is. But by the looks of it, he's just curing hussars here. He probably wants to build another house, even though you do get full population when you do revolt. He's just going to be building more and more houses here. And because he's popped and he just sent the shipment, I think that's indicative of the fact that he's probably sent a factory. All his shipments, remember, are incredibly powerful with the Spanish gold there.
Yeah, Kaiser now pushing in. He has the superior military for now, but he doesn't have enough siege in his army. He can't really force any of the infrastructure down. Now going for a raid. Oh, the Dragoons getting a good caught.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill the Falconets and some hussars. And the heavy
and
cannons
2
coming
heavy
in.
cannons as well probably going to die here. Oh,
Are they enough to scare off the Dragoons?
No, the Dragoons will take out these heavy cannons. They have a multiplier against them. And oh, there's the revolt. Okay, so that's why he's heavy cannons.
It was a huge bait, actually.
Yeah, actually quite a good bait there. So these colonial militia are really strong. They have incredible speed. These hussars obviously are imperial, so they're just insane units. They can probably take on the Dragoons if they can catch up with them. But once these colonial militia get any shots off on them, they're just going to dominate. A wall coming down for Kaister, quite nicely done, but that wall is basically paper on EP. And all his Dragoons going down, his army's going down. Eliza does have, it doesn't show us his new deck, but it would be a fort. I think 4 Gatling guns, 9 ironclad, and 16 colonial militia. Almost certainly he's going to be sending more and more colonial militia because that's the strongest thing to do here.
Yeah.
And because he has that TP line, didn't send a factory, so he was slightly slow in that regard. And I think that Spanish gold card was a bit of a waste. Didn't really get any value out of it.
Yeah,
But
1,000 coin much better for Revolt, I think. He still has now the chest of coin lying around, but
yeah.
probably doesn't matter. He has such a huge military lead. And now even gaps in the wall, letting the Hussars in. Half of them are sieging something.
Yeah. Zuta sending another two subs. One to Charlish and one
Thank
to
you, Zuta.
Someone else I didn't see, unfortunately. But 2 organ guns coming out for Kaister, I think, which is a bit of a mistake. 2 organ guns aren't the greatest shipment here. They do die to the heavy cannons. Now, a couple of culverins and QFOs do come out. It should be quite nice. But he does have CM here. Can pop it at any time he wants to if he can get me 400 gold. CM. The CM units are pretty actually decent if they get into fights with basically anyway. But
Yeah, they're as good as the colonial militia, except they lose HP.
They lose HP, don't have the multiplier with cavalry, and of course aren't as fast. But actually, those Vulcan guns did actually nothing. I don't think they killed a single colonial militia there. They didn't, they haven't killed a single one. So
there
yeah,
two.
there's 2 going
3.
down. But these heavy cannons are just going to demolish them. Oh, he does actually miss somehow, Kaister.
Yeah. Oh, he's reaching the stable.
One culverman coming down. Those Minutemen are on those heavy cannons. Minutemen only do have 13 hand attack damage. So I don't know if I go down here, but those organ guns have done huge damage, and they've only just gone down here. And a culverman at the back here, I think he's probably going to be able to defend here.
I don't think the heavy cannon. Oh, actually, it does go down because of the culverin shot.
Zuta subbing again, gifting more subs to Jesus here. So he's gone mad. He's just gifting loads and loads of subs. Culverin just now going down. So many Hussars are still alive though, actually, at the same time. And Eliza's just pumping more and more colonial militia out from that TC. And you can just see the piling gold crates in the middle of the map there. And these villagers are doing nothing. And
50 villagers on the run.
Kaister has 0 unit population. Imagine if he were able to get two of those batches of those big CMs out, 30 units, it'd probably be able to defend there. There's 7 Cassadors, which is such a pitiful shipment of this, but it doesn't really do too much. And unfortunately, I think this is sort of game over for Kaister.
Yeah, and also since he has vision on all over the map because of the TPs, Kaiser can't really run and hide his villagers like you want to do against a revolt because Oliveza is just gonna see it.
Yeah, there's the town centre. It's gonna go down. He's just madly collecting from that tin mine, but I don't know what he's really gonna be able to do here. I think what he wants to do is he wants to sell at the market, sell all his wood at the market, and probably try and buy CM, which I think is what he's doing. He's gonna sell 100 wood here, and CM's gonna be in queue almost certainly, but it's not gonna defend him here. I don't even know if CM's gonna be able to come out before it comes out. Oh, it does come out. So
yeah, probably, yeah.
16 Minutemen, these are strong. Some dogs do come out, but these dogs are insane at this point, aren't they? 30 damage, a swing, basically a hussar, made hussar, and I think he's lost this fight almost certainly.
Yeah, this is just over, and I think Texas has one of the highest Civ win rates in the game actually. Like whenever Texas comes out, it wins. I feel.
Texas?
Yeah, well, the Civ you evolve into, right?
Civ,
this is the Texan flag, isn't it?
That's Chile, isn't it? No. Is it Chile or is it Texas?
Yeah, it could also be Chile. I don't know. The flags are similar.
It's one of the two. But yeah, you're right. When Texas comes out, or Chile, I don't know which one it is, but it's incredibly strong.
Yeah, whatever Civ it is the strongest in the game. No doubt about that.
Wait, the Ottoman one I think is slightly stronger as you're faster. Whatever. I don't even know what your revolters are. The Ottoman, I have no clue. It's the black and white.
I have no clue either.
It might even be Haiti or something. It might be France. But yeah, that's incredibly strong. Another gifted sub from Zuta to Amphiron 6. Zuta's gifting 6. I'm going to thank him in chat, but Eliza winning the next game here of the player 5.
And Oliveza had a huge economy lead. Like he was 2,000 resources at for most of the game until he went industrial, and then he just steamrolled him with the superior army. So yeah, quite a hard counter pick coming out from Oliveza, I think. Like Spain just rolls over Portuguese on these kind of maps.
Yeah, and I think it sort of signifies the power of the ATP there.
Yeah.
Is,
everybody needs to embrace the revolt style.
Well, it's just so difficult to counter, isn't it? Because especially if you don't know if it's coming against someone like Robo,
Yeah.
you can counter it because he either does revolts or he does Lancers H3. That's the only things he does, and
I still lose to him every day, but
I've beaten him once. Zuta even just gifting me a sub because I talked in chat. That's thank you very much. Eliza's eating a banana. By the looks of it, but yeah, as I was saying, Robot sort of a player known for revolting nowadays, sort of coming to the scene. He's about a major now, but
yeah,
yeah,
EPA carrying him to major before me, terrible.
And yeah, I think it sort of signifies the power of the ATP, especially NAT posts as well, with how they changed. I know I forgot my player, Diroga, complaining a lot about NAT post changes and what have you, but
it's nice, I think, but maybe they've overdone it with the recent buff, because especially on like Arkansas, I don't know if it is in the map pool. You can get the Cherokee, and they have a tech that makes market upgrades cost no wood, and you get 4 villagers, and you can just do insane strats with that.
Does it make market upgrades cost no wood? I thought it was farm upgrades or something. Is that a different one?
No, it's the one on Arkansas is market costs no wood, so you just build a TP, a market, and then you get every market upgrade that has existed ever, and then 2 minutes later with 700 wood you get 4 villagers, and you have like Brits eco with a French fast fortress fortress time, and you just win.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's no chance.
it's insane. But I need to cancel. Sorry.
Oops.
Yeah, the recorded game wasn't on.
Yeah.
Obviously really
Good
did
reaction.
But,
Wait, he didn't wreck.
he needs to put it on again. Zuta gifting a sub to Brooke now. So everyone's getting a sub from Zuta.
You get a sub, and you get a sub.
Yeah, it's like what's her name? That lady on American TV. I completely forgot her name.
Oprah, I think.
Oprah, there you go. Yeah, you get a cuckoo clock or whatever she does all constantly. Just gives people random gifts. But yeah, Bearing Strait, a map which is quite new, 2 TP map. Won't be seeing ATP here. Quite I think hunt dense this map. So it should be quite nice to see.
Yeah, it has like, I think, 68,000 food on the map, or something ridiculous like that. Like 2 of the new maps have insane numbers of food on them.
Yeah, a lot of the new maps actually have a lot of hunt. I think the one which is it not Bengal? It looks like Bengal. It's the same map set as Bengal. That one has a ridiculous amount of hunt, like insane amount.
Yeah.
But,
I know which one you mean. I don't know the name either. It's like Wakamala or something like that.
It's something odd, but I think both players start with a monkey on this map, or maybe not. But at the same time, Oliveza starting with a wood start better for him than Russia. And he also does.
Yeah, this is just British paradise. 2 wood treasures in base.
Yeah, two wood treasures in base, and I think there's even 110 wood on this map somewhere, which is ridiculous. But at the same
for
time,
only 2 tigers.
Is it only 2 tigers as well?
It's only 2 white tigers. Yep.
Oh, Kaister gonna see this one here.
That's 95 actually.
Kaister gonna see all treasures, which is I believe this is the Kamchatka maps, not Kamchatka. What's the one on the RV? You start with an outpost. It's like a snowy map.
I know Siberia.
So yeah, it's Siberia's map set because that one spawns in Siberia and the monkey spawns in Siberia, Duba. So he's gonna pick that up, and if we look at their point of view, you can see now Kaister sees all the treasures. Another 40 wood there, another.
Oh, look at this! Look at this! This is just 300 wood or something lying around.
Yeah, and he also has Duba, doesn't he? So
Yep.
and Duba is basically another explorer in melee. He's gonna pick up another wood treasure here, 95 wood, and
500 wood maybe.
There's so much wood on this map.
Yeah, and Duba is really good here because he does 18 damage, and if he doesn't take damage, well, that doesn't really matter that he has 90 HP, and he's just gonna rinse through all these tigers and get a ton of wood.
I even think at this point, because you know where the treasures are and they're all wood, would it even be viable? There's a card for Russia, which is the Arctic Explorer card or something, which increases your damage on your Explorer and gives you a War Dog. Which, by the way, the War Dog is bugged on EP. It still does damage, full damage versus villagers. So in Age 1 you can have a unit which does 15 damage versus villagers just sitting in their base, being annoying.
Ooh.
But yeah, maybe that would be viable because look how much wood's there. It's better than a 300 wood shipment if you can get them all. 80 wood is insane. 40 wood obviously is really good itself, and altogether if you get 500 wood, that's basically like halfway between an Age 3 and Age 2 and an Age 1 shipment, which is incredibly strong.
Yeah, and he just built a teepee just like that.
Yeah, as Russia as well, which is he's going to get 5 Cossacks out if he wants to, 5 Cossacks or 13 Trellets out incredibly quickly, or even if he goes for sort of a long game against British, I think it works quite well. The matchup in particular is really good for Kaister here, right? Not Kaister, for Eliza here. I think it's quite a good matchup for British. No,
You think
no,
so?
no,
I thought Russia was favored here.
It's good for
because they
Russia.
can-
Sorry, my mistake.
Okay.
Oddly though, who picked first? It was Eliza who picked first, right?
It was Oliveza, yeah.
But
And now both are in the wood paradise up here. I don't think Oliveza realizes just yet what kind of treasure is here. But hopefully, no, he's going back. All right,
yeah,
no
he went
paradise
back.
for him.
But yeah, so he's going to pick up 40 wood here. I don't want him to use the correct shot here. That'd be a bit of a mistake. Target going to get a beating from that little monkey. But I think he's probably going to go over to the, what is it called? 85 wood over left here and pick that up.
Yeah. It's going to be close. He maybe could have kited the tiger a bit better. And because now it's going to be close for him to get the...
I think with Duba, if he needs to kite this one, I think is what's important.
Yeah.
Or even just use Duba as a bit of a meat shield maybe. Maybe that will work, but yeah, he's just going to back off a little bit here. 2 villagers coming forward with a blockhouse, and again, because he's got that extra shipment he's going to have an extra buff to his XP curve here, he's going to be quite far ahead. Minutemen coming out, so
get spotted. He got spotted earlier, actually, and that's why the Minutemen are coming out. Damn, it's going to get denied.
Yes.
6 Minutemen one-shotted villager. Oh, man. This is great.
So Oliveza doing the old GUA Minutemen rush, which he used on I forgot who it was called, Sir Musket at one point, and he patented it out himself. But yeah,
You
so
might find the other one.
Yeah, he finds that one. I think he's probably Kaister. Knowing Kaister probably does rage quit. But there's the blockhouse going down in base. These Minutemen are still going to be used to harass, and they're going to pick up another villager. Almost certainly. This is Kaister on 13 villager population. When you discount the wood card there, he's actually on only 11 villagers when he edges out from 14, which is pretty poor.
And the blockhouse is not up still.
The blockhouse still isn't up.
Wow, Explorer now coming in to pick up the Minutemen, but they have done their damage and paid for themselves twice over.
This might go down. If Kaister stayed there, that would have gone down. Minutemen, even though they do only have only 5 siege, when it's still being built, buildings take 4 times siege damage. That blockhouse would have gone down as well, which would probably be in like, what, 25, 30 wood gone down the drain for Kaister, which isn't an insignificant amount. Market going down to Russia, so Russia's going to be a bit slower, I think. But even though Kaister got such a good start on Age 1, this is almost certainly good for Eliza, surely.
Yeah. Man, this is huge, and Oliveza can just freely boom. He has like 4 hunts behind his base, and these are all fat hunts. They have 500 food, and he's just gonna be able to boom for days. And look at the score, 46 to 60.
Well, Russia's going to have a lower score as a whole, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
not-
quite extreme. It
not
was
that low
like
still.
38 to 50 earlier.
Yeah.
That's quite big, I think.
But a couple of Cossacks are going to come in.
Yeah,
I'm
actually
gonna
starting
do
with
the damage.
stable Oliveza, that is. Not maybe he wanted to pressure even more. I'm feeling the rush excitement of the Minuteman pop. Gonna pick up no villager, but gonna deny the barracks so far. Now Hasa's coming out.
Yeah, a couple of hussars are going to come out. They're going to just scare off the Cossacks. Cossacks, when they're in an open field, they can beat that amount of hussars, but at the same time, they're under the town centre. Darvoga saying that's disgusting to a Minutemen push, but at the same time, I don't think it's unfair in the slightest.
No, if it gets scouted and spotted, well, that's what happens. So it's in the game. It's possible to do. So you have to count for it.
People saying GG already, which actually might be right thing to say.
Yeah,
here.
they're maybe not that wrong actually.
Maybe we'll see Dialoga push Zoe, or not even Dialoga, Kaister to push Zoe into putting a negative multiplier on Minutemen, so we can't do that anymore. But it is a viable strategy. Obviously, Russia's going to do it, so I don't think that's really really unfair, is it, in my mind?
Yeah, it's not like you can do it brainlessly every time. Oliveza scouted the blockhouse very early, and he saw that it was only 2 of them, and he called the Minutemen early, so there was some thought behind it. Now Russia getting market upgrades in. He's upgrading his villager HP, which he doesn't have many of. And himself has very good market upgrades and a very good eco.
At the same time, Eliza's even pushing Russia here, which is what you don't really see from a matchup like this. He's losing a couple of his units here, so that blockhouse and base paying off its cost there. GUA actually saying that even though the Minutemen are quite unfair, Kaister should have had his explorer in sort of this area here to pick them off, sort of snare them, which is what you want to do, which is actually a really good point to make. But at the same time, this isn't good for Kaister. Look at the eco population. He's behind. Did just pick up 80 wood, which is quite nice, so he's still getting the use of his treasures. My God, Zuta donating 20 subs to the channel.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately for you, Skoogie, you're not in there. So
Dang.
You
I had a good shot there, but well.
But yeah, Zuta gone from I think 2 subs donated or even none to like 30 now already, which is insane. And,
yeah, thank you very much, Zuta.
And I think he's nipping at the heels of now. Not nipping at the heels, but he's getting closer and closer to Zealy Flower's 101 subs there. Zuta donated a lot to ESOC recently, actually.
In the chat, you miss Scrooge Harrison typing that.
Yeah, back to the game. Kaister is getting harassed by some units in his base. Even a second block was going down. Did lose four villagers total, so he's lost another settler.
Yeah, another. The last one clutched into the base, into the TC really quick. And Kaister now trying to age, which I think is the correct call. He has to do something drastic. But Oliveza already half up, and Kaister only now just clicking up.
Yeah, and this is sort of dire for Kaister here.
Yeah.
I think even if he went for well, he doesn't have anything which could be sort of cheesy in his deck. He doesn't have the church card for 9 Kalmuks, which actually are pretty strong against British. But But yeah, he doesn't really have anything cheesy in deck, so he can't just go for a cheese and try and win that way. So, although at the same time, he is actually now getting sort of ahead here on the eco population. Russia does produce his villagers quicker, and when Brit lets Russia sort of come out and get its population up, it should be fine. And at the same time, Oliveza, even in the same way as I know I'm quoting GUA a lot. He's doing sort of GUA to Brit the GUA way. And not making a huge amount of manners and sort of being a lot more aggressive. And he's ended up with not
Kaister
a massive
did actually
eco
get that
population.
H1 TP, so that's still providing some economy for him.
But,
Don't die.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. I've got a dry mouth. But yeah, Kaister up at the same time as Brit here. Brit does have to slow age, of course. And Brit can't really push in here because of a blockhouse fire. They do 45 damage on the cavalry. But a lot of longbows coming out now for Eliza, which do well against Russia's massive of Strelets.
Yeah, and he's actually going to be housed soon. I don't know, why not? He didn't set 600 wood, so his mana population is very low, like you said. Doing more of a give you anxiety style. Picking up his explorer, and finally all the wood treasures got picked up.
Yeah,
That
so
musk is coming in now.
all the wood treasures coming in, vet musketeers coming in, as you said. I don't think there's any text coming in for Kaiser. No, Kaiser not really doing anything. A couple more houses going down.
He sent 1,000 wood, so
Maybe he's going to go for a
what
bit
he
of a
wants to do with
TC
that.
boom here. It's possible. Actually, he
Yeah.
is going to go for a TC boom. So I think what he's going to try and do is draw the game into the long game, and I think Russia, when you get into the long game, just wins against British.
That's true.
Strelets are just insane units, so efficient. When you go
he has to pull out the 3 TCs on the map, Somali tactics.
Zuta donating another 20 subs. One going to Lord Raphael there, one going to Oats Boats, one's even going to TRG AoE3. But again, you've missed that there, Scrooge. But at the same time, there's a bit of a fight in the base here. 2 Falconets coming in for Eliza, doing some work.
Yeah, and 6 Oprishniks going for the emergency raid.
Oh, actually, those Oprishniks are going to do quite well if they get them in with these villagers.
Yeah,
over
oh,
here.
they fired the villagers right ahead.
But this fight in his base isn't going too well in the slightest for kaister.
No, he's gonna lose all his infrastructure. He has no way to deal with the Falks. He has a shipment now. Maybe he's gonna send Falks on his own. But he also has to protect them.
Yeah, actually, if 2 Falcons come out here, it's going to be whoever gets the shots off on those Falconets. Thank you, Incog, for subbing Perez to the channel. That's very, very kind of you. But this game has just been complete randomness from both players, and then people donating subs, which is
Yeah.
cool. Another sub.
And now the Suta
Filmic.
train started. The hype
Yeah.
train, but it's only because of Suta.
Yeah. Who was that? Philnick, I think? Or I think that's Philnick. I can't tell. But actually a big raid coming in for Kaister here. Did lose a good number of his own settlers in his base, 9, but now Brit has actually lost more, and because he's got 2 TCs, like Russia's going to slowly pull ahead. So actually, if anything, Oliveza needs to be aggressive here. 2 Falconets are a bit out of the way, and it's going to be whoever gets the Falconet shots off here. And I think
Who gets the shot?
Oliveza's getting the shots off, almost certainly.
Yep.
Kaister even,
He
sorry.
gets it. He still has Minutemen available, doesn't he? Kaister, that is.
No, he did call Minutemen, I believe. If we look at text completed.
And yeah, the muskets
he hasn't called them. And those Falconets actually now going to get a lot of damage off from the, what are they called? Cavalry archers. But 2 of them are still alive, both of them are low HP. And the Falconets have gone down because there's no supporting infantry from Kaister. More subs coming in, another 20. Was that 20 or was that 50? I think that may even be 50 from...
no, 52. It's 52.
52 total.
Wow.
So that would, another 20 coming in for Zuta. So Zuta's just putting in loads and loads. Apparently the sub-trainers on level 5 with 1,323%, whatever that means. But at the same time, this fighting base is, this isn't going well for Kaister. Well, at the same time, Kaister is now going to get another massive raid on the back right here. And so...
Baby steps, right? He's going to even up the villager population first and then come back into the military game. He has killed 17 vills, but also lost 13. But he evens up the population, actually, the economic one.
Just to tell GUA, when multiple people donate, it doesn't show up a lot. It only shows 1 person, which is why you're not seeing loads of people coming up. And Kaister resigned. I thought Oliveza resigned there for some reason, but
oh no.
But actually, even ending up on equal economic population there, but. I think losing that block house, sort of losing the game for Kaister.
Yeah, he just would lose all the stables and the houses, and then I think the space got spotted, or in the north, and yeah, he just got way too behind because of that Minuteman pop. And yeah, that kind of shows why the Explorer needs to be in position, why it needs to be 3 villagers constructing the blockhouse and all those things that people do in Russia games.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm really surprised that it was a completely random game, and at the same time, on Twitch it's been a bit random as well at the same time. Someone's actually phoning me on Discord. I'm just going to let them phone me and not even care about it. But we're going to back out of a game. Next game is on... I don't know what game it's on. What map it's on. Apparently Dakar. So this is a map I haven't seen before.
Nope.
And by the looks
this
of
is
it,
from Rikikipu or from no, not from Gaja.
neither actually.
Plain.
No, it's Vividly Plain. So he's in the chat right now. So if you want to ask about it, you can do. It's an interesting map. 4 trading posts. Obviously, you do have a water. You have a pond there, like New England. I believe you can put your little flag in the pond. Don't quote me on that, but you do have two more trading posts at the top. A very good map for ports actually, because you can go ATP and then go on water. And there's Portugal coming out for Eliza, and Kaister at the same time picking Aztec, which is probably the other strongest water stove in the game. I'm going to quickly ask to get a drink.
Why is that? Because of the water dancing? I have no clue how that works.
Aztec has water dance, which is insane, and they have really, really strong ships as well, just as a general.
Ah, okay. All right. I think Riot is going to get a drink. Yep. And I had a look at this map, and I saw the food count, and my jaw dropped. It has like only 20,000 food or something like that on the map in huntables. So like an extreme version of New England, even less food and more insane pawns in the middle of the map. So yeah, quite an unstandard map.
Pardon?
And Aztec may be able to go for the 10 Warrior Priest FF thing that Garja presented to us a while back. He said it was so OP, but then nobody used it. But maybe it's even better now.
Yeah, Garja seems to think certain stuff is really, really overpowered. But I think that's him thinking up strategy. At one point, he thought that Samurai vs Japan was really good, and you don't see that a lot. But yeah, as you said, quite an even matchup, I think. I think Aztec obviously is the one who wants to be aggressive, but at the same time, Zuta actually now just subscribing himself.
So, looks like you forgot that. Wait a minute. Everybody has a sub now except me.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so I think the sub train has just about ended. And apparently we're getting a lot of emotes, so
yeah.
Thanks, I guess. But
thanks.
But yeah, we'll just have to wait until Eliza comes back or Oliveza comes back.
Yep.
Are you ready?
And Boba looks like he's back right now, so we should get into it. Aztec obviously is the aggressor on this map, and overall, if we look at inclusive of both the last game, which was Conqueror versus who was it? Conqueror versus India bot, right? Migo.
Yep.
SKG, apparently it's on Deccan, but it's on Dakar. SKG is now 1 up versus the Hudson Bay Pigs.
Yep, quite a close series so far. Scores 1-1. In the left-hand side, we have Kaister spawning as the Aztecs against his opponent Oliveza spawning in blue as the Ports on the right-hand side. And like I said, this is a little bit like New England, I feel. And we have a 200 wood start. So do you go for early TP here as Ports, or do you just leave the wood and try to age as fast as possible to get the C-bomb going?
I think you go ATP, right? As Ports. Because you've got the 2 nap posts as well. Actually, funny enough, these nap posts are really good. Someone's just subscribed as well. I can't say your first name, but someone, the Horse Kraken, just subscribed for 2 months. Thank you very much. You do have the Bhakti Temple here, which has the Tiger Claws, obviously, but you also have the vegetarian diet, or vegetarianism, which increases your work rate for berry bushes by 40%, and this map has a lot of berry bushes, like an insane amount of berry bushes. So that's a good one to pick up if he goes to it. Aztec going to go straight away for the trading post, which is interesting from Coaster. Normally, you as Aztec with a 300 wood start, you just leave 100 wood and you build your I forgot what it's called now. The pit, right? You build it up. And that works out, I think, one XP a second with one guy running on it. But
yep, it's slightly worse than a trading post. Yep. But on the other hand, he now the disco man is on the map and can actually pick up treasures. He's like beefy as a hussar, not that strong yet, but he can help pick up treasures, and he also, I think, can pick up treasures himself.
Can he? Oh, he works as a villager, doesn't he? Yeah,
I think he does. Like 10 years ago when I was playing Aztecs, I think he managed to pick up treasures. But yeah, not doing that quite yet. Just a big army of pets and yaks running around on the map.
Which is what they Aztec always does. It also can that warrior priest can also heal his explorer, which is quite strong. A bit of a fight coming down here from the treasure guardians. 100 food come in. Eliza's too far away really to do anything about that. If we have a look at both of their decks, Eliza hasn't picked one or hasn't updated. Kaister has got a water deck. He does have actually not a huge water deck. Actually, it does have a water dance, which is the one I was talking about earlier. I think you were talking
what does
about
it do actually? I don't know that.
It boosts your combat of your ships, and it's just ridiculous. I think if you have if you have 10 warrior priests and 15 villagers on there, I think it ends up being like 200% or something. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Insane. But he doesn't have any of the upgrades there. You normally have there's one about canoes, which reduces them by 50 wood, or 50% of their cost. So really, that's something not surprising from Kaister, but maybe he'll be a bit more aggressive. And Oliveza here having quite an interesting deck. Does have the Nat Treaties card there. ATP obviously is still there. If we look at shipment sent, 3 settlers coming in from Kaister. Does have schooners, but not entirely too useful. Well, obviously it's really good still on EP, but it isn't as important as it used to be on AoE. And does
Well, I
actually
think
have
if you commit to a lot of bolts, it's quite worth it because the training time just adds up a lot over time.
yeah. And
I think
seeing as
Kaiser
he's-
did the math at some point, like after 20 ships or so, it's worth a ton. But I don't remember exactly.
yeah, I think it works out as having like if you have 3 docks, it's the same as on RE schooners. It's the same as 2 docks on EP schooners, if I recall correctly. But yeah, if you're gonna go full water boom, you might as well go for it. But by the looks of it, he's gonna go for ATP, which again actually allows him to go for schooners as well, because ATP gives you nets you a lot of XP.
Yes.
And but at the same time, these 2 lions, they do a lot of damage to the explorer, and obviously you do have I can't say his name, but the Aztec explorer is going to do a lot of damage himself, and he's also going to snare. Actually, the lions are both low HP, so they're going to go down relatively quickly. And because of that trading post, kaister can sort of Oliveza here can stay here, and he's actually snaring explorer. I think so. Maybe kaister might go for the nat TP. But it looks like he was rooting to it.
Oh no, it's like a race. Who gets there first?
Yeah, this is interesting. And whoever puts that down, that is the better TP. No, actually, it's the worst one. The Udasi is the worst one. Who got it? Oh, Liza got it.
Oliveza gets it. And Huizi Li Hitl has to go to the other one.
Yeah, I know why kaister wanted to go for this one. This one has a 50% hit point boost on your explorer. So obviously the Aztec explorer I think is one of the best ones in the game, right?
Yeah. Maybe the Chinese monk is also on par, but yeah.
Actually, GUA saying a lot of good stuff in chat today. Saying that there's 4K people online on ESO. Could people host lobbies? And say that watching the stream twitch.tv/ESOC or whatever. But,
thank you, Harrison. He's taking pity on me and he gifted me a sub. Thank you very much.
There you go. You're now a sub to ESOC. I think ESOC can probably actually have a couple more emote slots now, which would be pretty cool.
Cool.
But Oliveza actually going to build down a barracks and bit forward actually here. And at the same time, kaister isn't really doing anything too out of the ordinary here.
He's sending those trading posts, Travis. And one thing I noticed, like the rush distance in this map is very short. Like the TCs are almost on the same screen, and he just puts down 2 warheads in the middle of the map. And maybe he doesn't want to go for water boom, water dance, something like that, but just rush really hard because the distance is so short.
I'll tell you one thing which is interesting actually. Aztec, I didn't age with a fast age. Normally you age with fast age as Aztec because it's just much stronger, but he's gone with fast age and gone with straight away 600 coin. Oliveza at the same time going for 6 musketeers as his first shipment, which is a bit peculiar, but I think he's just going to go take down those TPs, tear down that TP as I don't know. I think one of the American presidents said tear down this wall, so. Relatively, well, Reagan, wasn't it? So he's going to tear down that TP like Reagan tear down the wall. But
Musketeers tear down that TP.
kaister getting vegetarianism actually as well. So I think these berries are the same as fishing boats, right? For the speed, so 0.65. So with that upgrade, they're roughly the same as wild elephants, I think. Maybe.
And he deletes he has no walking time now, so maybe that's actually worth it.
But he is
his
also
teammates did the math.
He is losing a lot of food on those elephants, which may have been a bit of a mistake to go on them so early. But 7-1 now coming in, and I think what kaister's doing here is he's probably just aging early. House going down. He wants to mark it up probably as well, but I think that can probably wait. Does have a couple of Puma spearmen, but 8 crossbowmen coming in for Oliveza, which are gonna safely take down those Puma spearmen, which actually have been buffed recently. They don't take extra damage from the Minutemen.
But yeah, sending straight unit shipments and not taking advantage of the water possibility at all. But yeah, it's probably too greedy to go for ATP, stagecoach boom, and water against Aztecs on a map with this short a rush distance.
That's a lot of Puma spearmen actually.
Yeah.
And there's 10 Mace Holtons as well. So Mace Holtons actually do a right versus crossbowmen right, but they're not amazing. But those crossbowmen are miles away, and because he's got that I've forgotten what it's called now. It's the one which triples the or doubles. Founder. Apparently a founder. 50 food, 50 wood, 50 coin. He's going to get more and more HP on not HP, more XP from destroying town centers and stuff. And that town center is probably going to go down if there's not a shipment.
Yeah.
Those units are just...
Oliveza more interested in sieging down the TP on the north than the map, and now Aztec pushing in.
And those Puma Spearmen have insane siege, 48 apiece, and 6 Coyote Runners now coming in, and even more Pumas coming in. And as I said, Minutemen don't do extra damage, so normally what you do here is you'd pop out Minutemen. Does Oliveza have CM? He does have CM, but I think he's going to lose that trait. Yeah, he's going to lose it, almost certainly. And Mace Holton's... Yeah, Mace Holton's actually faster than Villagers as well, which is one thing to note.
Mm-hmm. Now he's pulling everything. The Minutemen are coming out. The crossbar in. Musketeers is slightly delayed. But I'm not sure Oliveza actually minds that much if he loses this location in the south. He still has a ton of infrastructure in the north. He still has a TC. He still has an upgraded stagecoach line. Like, he probably can sack his entire base and the villagers here and still be fine. Well, no, he can't sack the villagers.
Yeah, villagers are important here, but those track of arms actually came out. They don't have any tags, if I'm recall. I think they've been changed. Yeah, they don't have any tags, so they do really well against sort of Mace Holtons and stuff like that, which tend to rely on tags. And he's now even fighting with the Settlers here. Settlers do alright versus the Mace Holtons, actually. But Tiger Claw's even coming in. Tiger Claws are going to be really strong here. If he can take down those Pumas, and one Hussar even coming in as well. But those Puma Spearmen aren't going to take down those Tiger Claws relatively quickly. And unfortunately for Oliveza, he's not going to be able to clean up here. By the looks of it, 700 coin coming in for Oliveza, so he's going to try and age. And at the same time, he is so low on eco population now, and doesn't have... Oh, does have a stagecoach, so he's fine actually out of this. I think, even though he did lose his original base, thankfully for him, he put his other base miles away.
Yeah, and I like this a lot. Like, these villagers on the coin mine, they are just useless. They need to hunt because that's the resource he needs. He can get coin wood from the TP. And yeah, just let the Aztec player siege down these houses. Here's other stuff.
Yeah, those houses are worth quite a lot, and again, he's going to get loads of XP from these houses. When they die, I think are 40 XP, so he's going to be 120, which is sort of the same as 3 houses going down normally, right? So,
but he has still the stagecoach TP. He just can replace them quite quickly, and it also buys a lot of time for him.
But the XP is going to go straight towards Kaister's build, which is not really what you want to see. I think it's still a mistake going on with berries, though. There's been a bit of talk in the chat, berries being 0.67. And if we work it out quickly, 40% on 0.67 is something like 1.1 or not even 1.8 or something, 0.08 a second.
Sounds right.
So Hunting Dogs, I think, is still slightly more efficient. Because, actually, no, Hunting Dogs isn't as good.
No, it's less efficient actually because and he doesn't get steel trap, so yeah, he thought this out probably.
But again, sorry about that. I think it's a bit of a mistake that those elephants have just sort of been left there. You want to keep as much hunting bases as you possibly can. But yeah. Oh, he's gonna get a bit of a raid here from those Tiger Claws, but he is now losing some of those trading posts. Oliveza is now sort of hurting the villagers here, and if his trading post goes down, I don't think he's going to be in an amazing spot himself. This is a bit of a forced push as well, because he's going to lose villagers, units basically for free here. Kaister now getting his units out, so he's going to have 11. Probably wants to get one more out as well. He could also bring out his warrior chief there, or not warrior chief, his war priest, and put them onto what is it called, cover mode, because you can still dance in cover mode. But yeah, he's now even losing some villagers of his own, which I think is a bit of a mistake, bit sloppy from him. But at the same time, Kaister is pushing on to Oliveza's base at the top here.
Yeah, this match is very confusing to me. I am not really sure who's ahead, whose plan is coming to fruition, and now 2 caravels are turning up on the shore and shafting his villagers, as the dejection would say.
He's even gone onto the barriers on Oliveza's base.
Yeah, they're denying the berries. That's big.
He's even using that warrior priest, which actually does have quite an impressive damage there. 15 damage and 360 HP to take out some of those units. And a couple more villagers are even going down, but there's a number of warriors coming out which aren't going to deal with the musketeers. But this raid coming, which Oliveza did do with only a couple of units, did actually net 3 villagers going down. And at the same time, he only lost 6 of his own. That army at the top is still pretty paralysing, though, to Oliveza's resources here. Those ATPs paying off, killing a couple of units, and also sort of they just soak so much damage. And he's also not killing the right ones. He wants to be killing the training post ones. But that TP ones aren't really as important. The Audacity Temple doesn't really net him anything here. These track ram units are pretty pointless.
Kaister knows to sing it. Oliveza almost getting an AFK red. Yeah, I don't know what Kaister is doing here. Like, he notices his villagers here, but he has his army in super out of position, I feel. It's not, like, doing much. It's probably, maybe, it's better to just put pressure on this location. He has the military unit lead, and also resource gathering is happening here.
So, Eliza shipped 2 caravels at 10 minutes. I didn't actually see that. But imagine if you had 2 caravels in this. I don't know if you can do it, but imagine if you had it in the mid pond here, right? Or one of the ponds at the top. It would defend so much, and it would sort of deny a lot as well. I think that's what those 2 Warhots are about here. Just sort of to defend and also to push at the same time. But he's now just running him ragged with these Tiger Claws. And this army, if he just split off like a couple of these units, a couple of Jaguar Prow Knights just sitting in his base to defend, he wouldn't be idled so much, right? And
yes.
And at the same time, he's giving Eliza more and more time. Eliza's now even aging, having CM. Maybe it's a bit of a mistake setting CM, but I think he's still sort of fine with economy. And although Aztec's got the bigger army, he can just pop that CM anytime he wants. And if Aztec goes towards that base, actually, CM will just do really well here, won't it? Because Mace Holton do really quite poorly against CM. Puma Spearman, if it was before the last patch, this army would just get demolished by CM. Actually, it really wouldn't be much he could do.
Yep.
Does he have a market anywhere? I don't think he does, so he can't sell any resources. But he's going to get the coin ready, and CM, covered wagon.
Yep, he aged, and no, Kaiser not noticing it in time, but actually the Pumas can, it's gonna go down. The TC is down.
But he does get both CMs out, so he's going to get quite a lot of damage off here. But that 600 will, or 500 will on EP, sort of to a waste here. But at the same time, I think he's still ahead on eco, or going to be ahead on eco. Saying that,
yes,
he is now Fortress Age. Does have the frigate shipment there, or even 2 organ guns does very well against. Is basically the whole army here. Couple of villagers going down. He hasn't got a huge amount of hunt himself, but he does have the berry upgrade, and as I said, a lot of berries on this map you can go pick up. But this is just a really weird game.
Yeah, this Oliveza just completely abandoned his position on the map and went to chill in the north. Yeah, but quite fun to watch. I'm not sure what happens from now, from here. Probably Oliveza just makes a ton of goons and artillery, and Kaister looks like also trying to age. He has the resources for that, only like a shipment of 600 coin missing, and then he can click up. Now migrating to his opponent's old base and getting the berry bushes there.
Yeah, those berry bushes being particularly useful on this map, aren't they? Really, especially for Aztec, as you said. Basically.
Yeah, have you noticed the dock in the corner here? And he's actually starting to build some fishing boats.
Although at the same time, 3 privateers coming out for the Kaister.
Oh.
And these ships are really powerful. If you look at the difference between a privateer and a caravel, it's quite significant.
Yeah,
although a frigate coming out, and that frigate getting shipped to the middle of the map, that frigate was shipped to the other placement that would have actually been able to take out these Victory. What's the one? Night Rambler, and the last one, whatever the fuck that name is, because that's not even a name. But yeah, that frigate in the middle poses quite a lot of threat. Again, this is like New England now, and Aztec doesn't really have a huge way of countering frigates, except from sending its own boats, and at the same time, it doesn't have any boats here, right? So like you can't make artillery. I think you can make what are the Aztec units called? The ones with the bows which shoot at a long range.
Arrow Knights.
Yeah, they can make Arrow Knights, but Arrow Knights aren't the best units versus boats, and they get picked off relatively easy from cavalry and as such. And because of that, Eliza is in quite a good spot here, that frigate in the middle. He's going to get cleaned up on the shore here, and a dock even going down for Kaister on the shore, but that caravel maybe will be able to pick off a couple of the villagers, not villagers, the boats which pop out of that dock. And a massive, actually not a huge raid. Eliza getting his villagers off. A lot of coyotes now, and I think Kaister is just going to age in a second. Bit of a miss macro there, but 600 coin should come in, and he should be fine. But Eliza is quite significantly behind on eco population here, and even Zoe saying this is apparently one of the most misplayed games he's seen. which I'd have to.
I'm not sure from whose side actually.
Yeah, I don't know. Who's
Probably
side.
Ports. He was in a good spot, but
Well,
maybe
if
it
he
was
did,
Aztecs.
he had what 8 crossbowmen up the top here, right? As well as
Yeah, that's right. When the Aztec pushed, he was just on top of the top map.
Actually, if we look at the military units here for Aztec, 29 coyotes, 14 mace sultans here, and 5 puma spearmen. Can you imagine if he can? Oliveza has Ronin in deck. Imagine if he got Ronin here. If he just, Ronin would just beat the whole army. I think 5 Ronin honestly beats the whole army here. He isn't doing that, of course. He is aging. He's going to get to the industrial age. But at the same time, if he sees the age up, Kaister, and takes up the town centre again, this might spell bad news for Oliveza.
Kaister still mismacroed. Like, he's not aging, he just has 2,000 food in the bank.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. He has no fear. He's still chopping wood.
Single settler. You see,
War Chief going down?
Oh, yeah, the War Chief actually, if it goes down instead of 100 XP, which actually at this point is quite significant. You do have 2 heavy cannons, which can be shipped. Although there was a lot of coyotes here, a lot of mace ult now even coming out, and actually that town centre is taking a lot of damage. CM even on that town centre, but I think that age up's going to get cancelled.
Oh yeah, that's true. I was worried about his shipment point and wanted to say that he's constructing an outpost here, but yeah, the age up is going to get denied. Oh man, he's probably going to resign after that.
Although he doesn't have any settlers in there, he's going to make the outpost. I think what he's going to do is I think he's going to send Ronin. Although, or maybe not. Maybe he's just going to resign. Okay, Oliveza resigning. And a weird game. You can look how many resources they're stacking at the end now.
Yeah, 4,000 food.
Oliveza basically stacking 5,500 resources total. And,
yeah, he has 20. He has 2 houses.
two
houses and an outpost. That's all the infrastructure he's got apart from TPs.
And yeah, what a weird game.
They're just no words.
And that does bring it to 2-2. So at this point, Biggs is still ahead by one point. And if Kaister does win, that means out of the series they are actually equal, which is quite interesting. So we've seen quite an equal EPL recently. We did see B winner lose to someone the other day, 5-0. And obviously Kaister for CMC did beat Daroga 5-0 as well. So really we've seen quite an even EPL. Even on the games have been quite one-sided maybe overall.
B winner lost 3-2, 5-0. I thought he was 3-2.
No, 5-0. He lost 5-0 to Stanley Winston.
Yes.
And 3-2 was Conqueror versus India. But so we haven't seen. Really, it's quite an equal standing at this point, with one apiece being ahead. But we'll have to see what happens at the end of this game. It is High Plains. A strong map for Spain. I think Oliveza can play Spain again. And Kaister can obviously play.
Was he the Spain player or was it Kaister?
Well, there's a reset in the middle, isn't there?
That's true. So yeah, so the Civ reset happens now.
So he can play Spain again. And obviously High Plains, I think, is probably the best ATP map in the game.
Yes.
Okay, and Oliveza looks like Auto coming out from him. Makes sense. This is a strong map for Auto. Can get a lot of TPs down. So,
Ottoman for Oliveza, we actually saw him go against Sompo. We saw him go ATP as Otto instead of a wood crate. Not a wood crate, a free settler shipment. And then go for a revolt against Sompo's India. So, we'll have to see what Kaister picks. I think this is a poor choice, though, into Kaister. Because Kaister, as we all know, does like to play Sioux. His only civilization, France is 131, so it's British. But he plays a lot of Sioux. And Sioux obviously is incredibly strong versus Otto. Sioux has also been buffed recently.
Yeah, they have they have the 5 village shipment back. The TPs are now even more insane than before, I think. And the Tashanki Prowlers have 50 more HP. I don't know how high you can get those numbers with 12 Tashanki Prowlers, but they're quite high, I think.
Each one benefits it by 10%, I believe, or 15% or something. So it was.
I think it's 5% HP and 10% attack.
Oh, Otto Mirror. Which is interesting.
All right. Dang. I wanted to see some Sue action.
Yeah, I wanted to see Sue as well. So I'm really quite confused why I didn't pick Sue, but
Yes.
I don't really know what happens in Ottoman either. I think it's sort of age 2 play, isn't it? Or is it just age 3 and then Falconets?
I have no clue, but B-Win is in the chat. He can explain that probably. I probably H2 Jan Abus, I think, because you need to get the TP line down and secure it. Like that's what has been happening in top players game from the new World Championship, where Kaiser was playing against Raphael. It was just Jan Abus, and eventually later the players aged.
Yeah, but it's a wood start. No, it isn't. It's a
What do you think about Oliveza's coin mines? He has 2 in base, but the other ones are quite far.
well, 2 in base, 1, 2 on the sides, and 2 other sides. I think they're actually fine. If you look at
None of them
Kaister's,
are missing, but they are quite far.
Kaister just has. No, actually, I think they're about equal. If you look at the difference between Kaister's one, which is the third one, yeah, I don't think it's really that unfair because he still does have them. They haven't misspawned. Just slightly further, which if you want to restart constantly for that, it's a bit silly. Eliza going for a training post. I don't know if he misses a pass here. No, he almost certainly doesn't. And Kaister going for one above. One above is obviously, I think, the one you go for if you want to be a bit safer. But Eliza going to get the pass first, which is obviously slightly better. You do get 3 settlers in ever so slightly quicker. And 60 food he's going to pick up here, which is a really nice treasure for Ottoman.
Yeah.
If we look at the other treasures on the map, there is a native scout, which I think Kaister probably will be able to see himself. 2 not 2 dogs, 2 cows, which nobody's going to pick up because it's pretty pointless as a treasure. 80 food, I don't know if that's been scouted or not. I'll have a look.
No,
hasn't been scouted. There is 30 food here. At
Well, we'll get see now from Kaister. So 60 food, not that impactful.
Yeah, 60 food. Well, it's a 120 food swing. It's relatively impactful on Ottoman though, as a whole.
That's true. Did Oliveza? He did not see the 80 food, right? He just turned back. Or is he going around the TP?
I think he's going around, which is relatively smart. And
yeah.
I think he wants
now
to
seen it.
He wants to sit like here. Yeah, there you go. He wants to sit here and then go in and then see if he can just. Yeah, he's gonna get it. If he watches, he's gonna get it. Please watch. There you go. He's gonna get
it.
So really, that's a 160 food swing there.
And he's gonna age now, like at 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh. But you can come back from that, if I recall correctly. In the NVC, Kaiser just aged up a minute earlier than Raphael, and Raphael still managed to pull it back with some clutch plays. But yeah, he's quite ahead in the age up time, and he's gonna get the TPs down sooner, and he's even denying Kaister map knowledge because he's hunting the Explorer.
Let's have a look at the decks. Both players went for 3 settlers. ATP is in Eliza's deck, and there is that Nat Native Treaties card. On this map, I don't think it's too good. You do have Cheyenne, which once you get to the 3rd age, actually are pretty strong. They do have that 2x multiplier versus cavalry, which works quite well. But,
and you get the Comanche, and they get 10% on cav and light infantry. I don't know if Abus are light infantry, probably not.
No, light infantry is coyotes. They're called light infantry. Light infantry actually isn't a tag, which is for skirmishers and stuff. Skirmishers just have the infantry tag. And,
damn! I thought I was upgrading my skirmishers as well when I was playing France.
No, it doesn't do anything with skirmishers. It's because of Nilla. It's called light infantry when it actually isn't. 2 villagers coming forward. And a house.
A proxy house.
Did they get spotted by Kaister's trading bros though?
They probably want to build a barracks here and siege down the TP right away. But the barracks is in the corner then. Why not just build the barracks here? And the walking distance is almost the same. And
also you get less walking distance on your settlers there. But I think barracks are going to go straight away down there, right? Yeah, straight away down.
Yeah, he has 200 wood.
If we look at text being researched here, quartermaster for both players. Eliza did go up with quartermaster himself, so that's 400 wood. On their units in queue, I think Kaister, knowing that there's that barracks there, or seeing the 2 villagers coming forward, double barracks, so it's double Jan rush for Eliza. And I don't know if that's really the smartest thing to do, because if Kaister goes to an Abbas, an Abbas play here. 5 Abbas guns beats a lot of these units in the barracks here. Although if he goes for sort of 3 hussars as well, this would be quite nice. But again, it's a barracks going down for Kaister and base. So both players going for similar builds, but Kaister being the one who's on the back foot. And I think what he's going to do here, Oliveza, almost certainly is going to go siege down that training post straight away, which is what you want to do. And,
yeah, but then Kaiser has all the information. I don't think he has spotted the barracks yet, but as soon as he sees 10 Januaries coming on from the wrong side, he knows what's up. And probably an artillery foundry coming down again, and that's actually a huge buff to Otto. Like the cost was reduced to 250 wood, and I've seen no one on the forums talk about that, but Otto just gets 50 wood for free basically every game.
Yeah, it's a good buff, I think, because obviously you don't really see foundries going down too often, but obviously as Otto, it's quite common, isn't it, as a whole? But
yeah, Otto really needed that buff.
Yeah, don't mean it, but yeah, the Atomic Hunt is going to go down, and if Kaister can get sort of a batch of 5 Abbas guns out, he's even gone for a second TB down the bottom, which I quite like. It's out of the way, nobody's going to spot it. He does obviously because of the UI. Oliveza doesn't know where that is there, but 5 Janissaries are now out for Kaister, and
Abbas in Q.
Abbas in Q as well, and unfortunately for Oliveza, he's not producing anything but Janissaries. And so Minutemen plus Abbas guns plus these Janissaries are just going to defend very, very easily.
Yeah, he is smartly hiding his units. He's not sieging down the TP, which is a good choice, I think.
Is it smart, though? Because he's allowing Kaister to get that second TP up, and he's not using the advantage of the Janissaries he has. And I think
that's true, but he's playing on the surprise factor, right? He wants to come in with a huge mass of Janissaries and then just win off the surprise. It's probably not going to work against Abbas guns and Minutemen and all that stuff, but that's the play he's going for, I think.
I think it also depends what time he pushes as well. By the looks of it, he's going to push now, so there's another 10 Janissaries in queue, so it's going to be a 25 Janissary push. And if he doesn't get sort of the 3 hussars out, he's just going to die here. I think
yeah,
even
he really needs them.
5 Abbas guns even kills that army, I think, as a whole.
Yeah, and 3 more in the queue, like, they just kill an infinite number of Janissaries.
Yeah, because they just kite.
Yep.
And he also obviously has TC fire as well, which is...
Actually, if the Explorer gets revived in a good spot, nope. He could have maybe snared the Abus.
Yeah, he needs to sort of try and take down that Explorer ASAP. Abbas guns are snared. This is poorly done by Kaister, actually.
Yeah, not the best control.
And he needs Minutemen out as well to sort of get a bit more damage on. And he needs a TC fire as well. That Explorer does go down. Minutemen coming out. Going to be doing a bit of damage. 45 damage from that TC. Firing away, now 63. 3 hussars coming in. Oliveza, but I think he just needed those 3 hussars earlier. And this push which he's done is sort of wasted. 2 Janissaries coming out from the top, not going to be doing anything. And you can look at the build order here. Both players going for crates, and now even Oliveza going for a military shipment. 3 hussars obviously being, I think, worse than 600 wood here. And yeah, this push has been a bit pathetic simply because he didn't mix any Abbas there. Obviously, if you're aggressive, I don't think you want to have Abbas in there, do you, really?
I don't think so, because the TC 2-shots them, so it's quite expensive to go in with Abbas guns. But yeah, I in general, I don't know why you would try a side Jan rush in this auto mirror. Because you just know that there will be Abbas guns and you will get destroyed.
Yeah.
But he is ahead in Millpop for the time, and he has hussars maybe raiding.
Yeah, Kaister is ahead. Although it looks like he's behind on eco, he's actually quite significantly ahead because he's got 2 trading posts here. Also has that mosque. Getting great coats in, so he does have a market somewhere. I don't know where it is. There it is. A market. Gonna get great coats in. Probably gonna get some upgrades in as well. Sending 600 coin tells me he's gonna have more and more Janissaries. Bit of a raid maybe gonna come in as well at the same time. But a couple more Janissaries are in base, which are going to defend. A couple of Abbas guns coming in. Those hussars actually waited for those Abbas guns, so Oliveza played quite well there. But
not putting them back again, and gonna lose 1 for that.
And one thing to remember is those Abbas guns take a long time to train, right? These each one of them is like, what is it like? It's longer than a batch of Janissaries, right? It's quite a significant amount longer. But
yeah, I don't know the train time exactly, but it's longer.
And he's only got 2 left now. If we look at military units, Janissary mass is actually on Eliza's favour. Especially when you account for those Minutemen only having 1 HP. Only 5 Abbas guns, but... Whoa, what's this? 210 XP going to go to Eliza.
Yep.
And I think Eliza's aging now.
Yes, he only needs 600 coin right now. Or he is mismacroed.
Obviously.
Yeah, Kaiser now identifying where the Rexes are and gonna siege those down. Does Oliveza have a shipment on the way? I don't think so, actually.
700 wood descent. I
Yeah.
think actually, I don't know if he is aging. I think he might just be horribly mismacroed.
Yeah. Now he's switching villagers over to the coin
He
mines.
should just put all his villagers on coin. Doesn't need.
Yes.
Oh, there's 600 coin coming in, so he wasn't that awfully mismacroed. And by the looks of it, he is now going to be taking back some trading posts himself. Gets a little bit of a raid on the top here, sort of playing a bit of a Sompu style, if you will. Actually, he got quite a decent raid. We missed that. I'm sorry about that. But 1 unit going down for Kaister. But you can just look, 20 Janissaries for 7 Abbas and 3 livestock pen. I don't know why that went down. Yeah, this isn't a good trend. He's going to lose even more units here. But Abbas, Janissary snaring, allowing Kaister to get some nice shots off there. And Eliza going up to the next stage, but by the looks of it, I think Kaister's just going to push with his superior army here. And Abbas, obviously, I think even though they do lose to Falconets in the long run, they can sort of delete the Ottoman at Falconets very, very easily.
Yeah, especially if they pop out in range. The Falcons need some time to set up, and the arrows can just shoot straight away.
And I think Kaister sort of realises this from the mass. He's going to try and sort of attack Eliza's mass on the right here by pulling in his Abbas guns, trying to get and sort of take them off. But
Oliveza is still not aging. Just now he has 1,000 coin in the bank. And Kaiser going for the safe play, or trying to zone off those Janissaries and also killing the TPs. He doesn't have to do anything crazy here to get further ahead. And just sieging down the TPs is a good choice.
Look at this macro. He had 2,000 food. So again, another player who's 800 food too heavy for aging now, which isn't too great. If we look at units in queue, he's trading some more Janissaries from the top here, going in for some sort of annoying raids. Again, playing a bit like Sompu would with the same matchup. He's now actually ahead on eco.
And he sent 600 wood.
Yeah, 600 wood. I don't know if I like 600 wood here.
I don't like it. He will not have a shipment. Oh, he will actually, because he's aging slowly and he's almost up to the second, up to the next shipment. But yeah, I feel like if you age slowly, it's just always too slow. I don't know how to say it, but it's just too slow.
Yeah, 600 wood I don't like. He needs the pressure from sort of 2 Falconets or even Sparhy here. If we look at the units, military units here, there was 22 Janissaries, so Sparhy wouldn't be that effective. But but he needs sort of Falconets, and Kaister's army would sort of be demolished. He does lose another Janissary here, not Janissary, another Abbas guns, but those Abbas guns can just stay in base, and they'd just be very, very powerful. Actually, at the same time, Kaister has a bit of a conundrum here himself. He can't push too easily, simply because if he pushes into Eliza's base, if 2 Falconets pop, and you get Minutemen out, and you get a batch of... or if he goes 8 Janissaries, sits them in base, or gets a batch of Janissaries... If he brings those Janissaries back, and sort of uses them to defend, 4 settlers even coming in for Kaister, which is quite peculiar. But...
Ooh, did you see that? Low HP villagers getting sniped by 1 Janissary that ran in there.
Oh, it's quite nice. Actually, both have actually popped now. Neither has the upgrade. So 4 settlers was a bit of a peculiar shipment in particular. But these barracks are just going to buy him time. He needs to get back his Janissaries. Really, he probably needs to, if he's got any in queue here, delete them. Is Eliza aging?
No, but he looks again like he's going to age up again, or he's mismacroed.
I don't know. He went with the hussars. I think he's aging. I think this is a revolt, honestly. He's got 600 wood in there. He sent 600 wood because he wants it. Yeah, I think he's revolting. I honestly think he's revolting.
Yep. 1,000 coin coming down. He's gonna go for the revolt play.
He's losing his hussars here, though, which is... Not great.
No, but I like this play. He is quite behind. He can't play like standard stuff, and he has been already buying quite a lot of time with his Somali tactics, coming in from the north, coming in from the south, and more hussars on the way, and more distraction on the way. And Kaiser's now finally giving up a push into the base.
Yeah, but if he does try and age here, he just lost his explorer. So unless he does a like a PR10 move and just runs his villagers around, I think he's I think that's probably what he's gonna do actually. This army I think beats him, and he can't buy back in his explorer. At the same time, he's just harassing Kaister in his base with his couple of hussars which he got from the age up. Another town centre going down on the left, so he's just gonna sack his own town centre here. And
Yeah, he's not even aging in it.
yeah, he's not even aging, and if he wins this game, it's ridiculous. There's no way he should win it. He's actually head on score somehow. I have no clue how that's happened.
Yeah, he has 4k resources in the bank, probably.
That's why.
That's why. And he is getting some good picks again in Kaiser's base. Killing some Jans, killing some Abus. But he's gonna lose also the houses are big here. He's gonna lose 4 houses and the stable. And he just needs that pop space. And the villagers are idle. They don't have any hunt.
Yeah, so all these villagers are they leave the hunt at the top here, right? It's right at the top. And
Yes, now they're going.
his harassment though is quite nice in his base. He is taking down a number of villagers. A couple of villagers on the right there as well. 5 Janissaries now coming out for Kaister. But it all depends basically on if Kaister finds this town centre. And if he finds the town centre, he's probably going to win. Because...
Yes.
so you're going to have the edge up straight in queue. I think he
Yeah,
should
but
have
even-
walked his villager.
Even if he doesn't find it, like it's only gonna be like 25 of those militiamen.
Yeah, but
Minutemen?
these are Janissaries on the... these Janissaries are weak, right? Only age 1, age 2 Janissaries, not age 1.
True.
So, yeah, he's even going up there now. This game's over. As soon as that base is spotted. But that town centre is going up really quickly. So, how long does that research take? It's on 31
90
now.
seconds, something like that. 100 seconds, I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to go down. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, he's positioning his units very closely.
Minutemen do come out. Got to do a bit of damage.
Yeah, but he doesn't even have the resources to click up the
He doesn't
revolt.
have a revolt.
Yeah, he
revolt,
realizes. Alright.
Wicked Cossack even saying he needs... I mean, imagine... Actually, Wicked Cossack being right here. Imagine if he put down a fort in his base. If he had it in his base.
Yeah.
But,
Forts are really good. Like, surprisingly, they kill a lot of shit.
yeah, forts are really good.
No.
I don't know why he asked that, but yeah, you can't coach where you're... can't coach while playing. Even though that did happen last EPL, it was accepted then. I guess it's not accepted now. But we can look by the military unit population here. Oliveza actually not training too badly when you equate for the fact that he didn't go with Abus guns. But if he was going to revolt, he should have just gone for a normal revolt. Kaister was in base, and if he did that, I think it would have worked. Simply because Kaister was massing. He should have gone for a bit of a push, and then straight away revolted. His problem here was that he was a bit mismacroed, maybe. But, yeah, that's us done for today, I believe.
No, it's play all 5. It's...
Yeah, that's 5 games, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
3-2
This was-
3-2 to Kaister.
Oh, yes, I thought it was 3-1. Wow, I'm confused.
But, yeah, so...
Yeah.
Well played by both players. Oliveza was on the Bigs team, so actually now it is equal. Now you're correct for the Conqueror game, but there are a couple of games I believe tomorrow.
Yeah, a ton of them actually. 4-5 matches, I think.
Tomorrow, so they'll all be casted. A couple of them will be on ESOC too, so you've got that to look forward to. I think you're casting tomorrow. I don't know. if
Yes,
I
I'm
will
casting
too,
tomorrow
but,
with Harrison, who gifts me a sub. Thank you.
so that's something to look forward to. But today I think we're done. So thanks very much for watching, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Enjoy your evening.